everybody, this is Bronislava. I have a blog, HandMadeRukodelky. You can find lots of patterns in there. And let me go and talk to you about our project today. I don't know, do you remember when I did a video of this mandala vest? I was using this beautiful yarn, beautiful colors by Misti Alpaca. And as you see, I use also red color, but I didn't use as much of it. Therefore I had leftover. And this leftover turned into a wraparound skirt. Let me go and show it to you. Wraparound skirt. You can see here, these are my strings that you wrap around your waist. Anyway, so the wraparound skirt is asymmetrical, so it is shorter on one side and wider or longer on the other side. And of course you wrap it around and tie it. So I will have all the information on my blog about the materials that I have used, and there will be also a pattern. If you're interested, go below my video, click on the link, and that will lead you to a written pattern and information. But in today's video, I'm gonna go and talk about the process, what I did, and then I will show you two things. I will show you short rows, which was part of the making this skirt asymmetrical, and then I will show you iCord, which is part of my wraparound string. Okay, so that's what we will be working on today. So first I cast it on 241 stitches. I have 8 stitches over here for the edge on the side, and then I have also 8 stitches over here for the side. Okay, and in between I have, from the edge to edge over here, I have, not including the edge, I have 225 stitches. As you see, I have edges with the garter stitch, and in the middle I have a stockinette stitch. I knitted 10 rows of my garter stitch back and forth, including the edges. And then I was working on stockinette stitch 4 rows, which means 1 row knit, on the other side purl, except I was working on garter stitch on my 8 stitches over here, which means both sides, right side and the wrong side, is knitted. Okay, and same over here, just like I said. And then I don't know if you've seen my video where I was working on the bib. Let me go and show it to you. I have it ready here for you to see. So this was my bib where I did my 2 hearts over here. So I used the same heart, exactly the same like in this video with the bib. Okay, I used a heart over here in this corner. Well, I was hoping that you know, I will be finished with it by Valentine's Day, but I never was, so you know, too busy with other stuff. Anyway, so after I did my heart in this corner, and in the beginning I thought I might actually do hearts all around the bottom, but then I decided not to do it because I thought it would be for me a little bit too much. So I just wanted a little something interesting going on in this wraparound skirt, and this 1 heart is it. Okay, and then I knitted 10.5 inches all the way to this area right now where I have it all set up, and I will show you what I will be doing with that. Okay, so 10.5 inches. And right now I am in a position of basically knitting short rows. With short rows, what is going to happen is that this side is gonna be longer. Okay, so from here, it's gonna be longer and it's gonna be in an angle like this. Okay, so I will have probably an extra maybe 3 inches up here, but we still will have this side shorter than this side. Okay, and right now I am ready to do my short rows. And short rows I will be doing every 15 stitches. Okay, so which I will be starting to not knit 15 stitches on this side. So I knitted already all the way to over here. This was my 15th stitch. I marked all my stitches, but I will be taking those markers out. And I didn't knit these stitches. Of course, I'm not gonna knit this edge as well, right? I am going to go and purl back and knit my edge. Okay, so purl back this much up to my marker here, and then knit my edge. And then when I go and knit my next row, I will again knit all these stitches all the way to my next marker right here. So then I will have left over 15 stitches here and 15 stitches here, and I will repeat that back and forth. Okay, so how I'm going to do it, I'm gonna turn it around, and it's going to be very difficult for me to work with these needles nearby table, but I will show you just a little bit. Okay, so I will start purling, and this is how I will do it. Actually, this has to be on that side over there. So first stitch I will just slip, and I will slip it purl-wise. Okay, we will slip it, we don't knit it, and then we will purl all the way to the end. Just purl. It's kind of hard with these really long needles. Just purl all the way to the end. So here I am at the end of my purl section, where I have to purl all my stitches, and I am not gonna purl all the way to the end, only to my marker. Okay, and then we will knit after the markers, which is our edge. So we will knit these stitches. Okay, hold on one second, I have to do it one more time. These needles are hitting my table, so it's very, very uncomfortable for me to do it. So I'm sorry. It's just probably looks really weird right now in the video. I'm not sure. We shall see. And then we go and turn around, right? And we will continue knitting. So now I will just knit, because edge is knitted on both sides. So I will knit my edge again. Okay. Do you hear that clicking on the table? Well, let me just go and explain it to you instead. So I will knit all these stitches, and I knitted all the way to here before, but now I need to go and knit all the way to here. So what I will actually do is I will take this off. So I know Then I have to knit to my last dark marker right here. Okay, so I will knit all the way here, and then I will turn around again, and I will do exactly the same thing. When I turn around, I will slip the first stitch, and then I will purl all the way to my marker again. I don't have to worry about this edge right now anymore. Okay, and then I will knit my edge here after the marker, and then I will repeat again. I will turn around, and then instead of knitting all the way to this marker, which I will remove, I will knit to next marker. So each time I am not knitting 15 stitches. Okay, so I didn't knit these stitches. Now I will not knit these stitches, and then these stitches, and then these stitches. So I will actually go and start making a line in an angle over here. Okay, and then when I'm finished with all the way over here, when I go get over here, when I'm working on my last section, then I will go and show you that I will knit all these all the way down, but I will be closing my holes over here, because it makes a little step in here. So we will have to go and close all our holes in each of these sections. Okay, so that's what we will do. And so I'm gonna go and work on my stuff. I explained to you how I'm working on this. Hopefully you understand. And when I'm finished, I will just show you how I am finishing up my short rows. Okay, I'm almost finished with all my short rows, and let me show you how they look. You see right here is my first short row, here is second, okay, and so on. You can see the little holes in there. And also I just wanted to tell you that I did not use, like some of you might know, the wrap technique, because I will be continuing later on to knit this row a little bit differently than with wrap on technique or wrap around technique. And I still have to do, this is my last short row, so I need to go and knit up to this stitch, then go back, and then I will start adding all my stitches back on. Okay, or basically knitting all the way across this needle. So again, I think I'm gonna go and do it by myself without really showing you much, but I just want you to know that I will knit to that stitch, and again my needles are hitting the table, so it's very uncomfortable for me to demonstrate this work. Okay, so I'm going to go and do it up to here, and then I will purl back to my marker, all right, and knit to the end, and then I will start knitting all the way across. And actually I prepared a little sample where I'm gonna show you how I will be doing it over here. Okay, so basically what I need to do right now, like I said, I need to go from this point over here, and I will go from I will do the same over here on my sample. So I will be having 5 stitches over here only instead of 15. Okay, so I will knit from this point to my next stitch. So let me show it to you over here. So here I would go and knit all the way to my marker here, okay? And I don't have a marker here, but I will knit to my 5th stitch from here. So I need to knit one more, okay? So I have always 5 stitches in between in here. Over here I have 15, okay? Now I would go, when I would come to my marker over here, I would turn around, right? And I would slip my first stitch and I would purl to my marker, which I don't have over here, so I'm just gonna purl all the way, and then I would knit my edge. I don't have edge over here, so I will just purl all the way to the end. And then when I would go and turn again, then I would have my little bumpy thing right here, and then every 15 stitches, right? So I have my first bump right here, and that bump makes also a hole in between the stitches, okay, like I showed you right in here. Right here is the hole, and then 15 stitches later is another hole, okay? So that's what we are having over here. Now how I would go and add these stitches. So let me show you how I will do it over here, okay, on my needle. So I would just knit all the way to that stitch where is the bump. Okay, so here I have the bump, right? Below the bump is another stitch. You see it? So I will knit the stitch that is going to go and make it even bigger bump. And then the stitch below it, I would go and add by grabbing it from the back, okay? And then, so you basically now have 2 stitches, the one on the needle, the one below it that you just knitted, and the 3rd stitch, 1, 2, 3, right? And then, so we grab that stitch from the back, and we will knit these 2 stitches together. Knit them together, okay? And that way we close that hole. Let me go and show you again, but let's go and do it actually in English style. So I will knit to my bump. I will look for my stitch that I need to go and use. So it's going to be the stitch below this one right here, okay? So 1, 2. So I will knit this 1 stitch, which is now going to become 3rd stitch over here, right? I will add it from the back, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3 stitches. I added it from the back, and I will knit these 2 stitches together. Okay, and I continue knitting again all the way to that bump or step, I should rather say. Okay, now I will again knit this stitch, and I will need to add this stitch together with this stitch. Okay, so we will knit this stitch, and we will go from the back and add it together, knit it together with the next stitch. And this I would go and do with all my those bumps or those steps. Okay, now on the way back I will do one more row. After I do all this, after I do all my steps or the bumps, I will purl my row. So basically I will first knit that edge and then purl all my stitches and then knit my edge. But over here, actually I knit always first stitch on the purls side, and then I go and purl all the stitches. Okay, but you can purl the first stitch if you wish. So I'm going to go and purl, and when I'm done I will go and show you how it all looks. All right, so I'm finished with this row, and you can see that we do not have any holes in there. Okay, you see, it looks really pretty good. So this is how I do it without wrapping. Okay, I just add that stitch that is below. Now when I'm finished with this part, doing this, what I have in here, I will start knitting a really long string, and then later on I will start adding it. So that is going to be my like a belt or something, because I will have a long string that I will wrap around my waist and I will tie. Okay, so let me go and work on my last step over here, on my last short row. Then I will go add all these stitches or knit all these stitches just like I showed you over here, and then I will purl the middle part and knit the edges, and then I will show you what I will do next. So I'm finished with my short rows where I closed the holes in, you know, every 15 stitches. And after that, let me go and show it to you actually a little bit. So here is, for example, one. You see, you can hardly see that, right? And then there is another one right here, another one right here. Okay, so every 15 rows I close that hole, right? And then I had to knit my edge and purl the middle and knit my edge. And then I did 2 more rows. So I knitted entire row and then I went back again. All right, and I'm ready now actually to do my so-called belt. Okay, so what I will do is I will go and cut this off, cut this yarn off. I will cast on 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, and we will knit in the round a really long tube, the tube that I can go and wrap around my waist, okay, which really is iCord, and this is the way I will do it. So after you cast on, you knit 4 stitches, 3 and 4, and then you will slide these stitches to the beginning or to the other end or beginning of the needle, where this is in the back on this side, and then you will start knitting over here again on the first stitch on the opposite side. Okay, so we will knit these stitches. Now when you start knitting these stitches, you pull on that stitch, and the second, third, and fourth stitch I will pull, I will stretch out, and that stretching out, again, stretch out and stretch out, and that stretching out is going to make the line where you go from here to there, it's going to go and make it tighter. Okay, so you don't have a gap in there. It's not gonna go and show immediately until you go and knit few rows. So we will go and knit again, first stitch and tighten up and pull on that stitch and knit, stretch out that stitch and knit and stretch out. Okay, slide down to the other end, knit again and tight, and now stretch the second, third, and fourth stitch. Okay, slide down, and very soon I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so this line, this from here to here, is gonna be tighter because of stretching of those these stitches, and keep it nice and tight. Let me do a couple more and then I will show it to you. And I will actually go and, like I said, I will knit very long tube, or basically iCord. Okay, and when I am finished, I will start adding this iCord to my skirt at the waist. Okay, so let me go and show you how it looks. See, you don't see, you cannot see this line. You can't see this line in here because of stretching of those stitches. Okay, so I will go and continue knitting, and I will make, you know, so it wraps around my waist. So I don't know how wide your waist is, and so it's gonna wrap around my waist, and I still need to have a little longer piece for tying it. Okay, so it's gonna be long. It's gonna be the size of my waist plus extra for tying, and so that's how long it will be. And then when I have that, and I will show you, then I will start adding it over here, one stitch at a time. Okay, and then I will continue making this again so it goes around my waist and some. Okay, so that's what is going to go and happen next. All right, and when I'm finished, I'll show it to you. You're gonna see how it looks. It's gonna look cool. So here I am. I made myself a very long iCord, or basically like a tube type of belt. All right, and what we're going to do is now start attaching it, working it with the skirt. So, and it has to be attached like this. So I will, again, here I finished knitting, right? And we will go and push this, and we will go and continue knitting that those stitches. Again, tighten up, push or pull each stitch so it kind of closes over here. Okay, because you can see that it's just like really nice and tight, right? And this last stitch I will go and put over here, okay? And I will knit this last stitch with another stitch from my skirt, okay? So we're going to go and do that. I will have to turn it around a little bit. And we will knit these two together. Knit two together, right? Now we will push that needle and we will repeat it. But it's gonna be a little bit clumsy over here because, a little bit more difficult because it's attached now to this needle, right? And again, we will go and tight, really tight, if possible, and start pulling those stitches. Pull those stitches, stretch them. Okay, now this is very loose because, you know, because of that first stitch. Actually, we need to go and move back that stitch again, okay, and knit next two stitches together. So I undid my last stitch and knit those two stitches, the next one after the first one, okay, knit it together. Let's go and do it. It's a little bit difficult. All right, now I will go and push the needle again over here. Push this needle. Knit again all these stitches. Okay, let's go stretch these stitches. Pull the stitch so it's not too big and stretch those stitches. Now we need to go and put it back on this last one, the fourth one, on the needle. Knit it with the next. Knit it with the next one. Okay. And we do that again. So always the last one you go and connect with the next on the skirts, with the skirts stitches, okay? And let me go and do a few, and then I will show you how it looks, okay? So you can already see that it's being attached along this edge right here, okay? So let me go and just work a little bit on it. It's a little, you know, a detailed type of work, but it can be done with the patience. Actually, I have to show you something because I found a better way to do it. Okay, so look at this. So I did my knit two together, the fourth one and the stitch from the needle, right? And now I have to go and start knitting again at the first, second and third. Okay, this is my third one. And now what I will do, instead of taking this stitch and putting it on this needle, I will actually do it the opposite. I will take the stitch from the needle, put it on my double pointed needle, and then knit it. Knit those two together. I think that's much better idea to go and do it. Look at this. This is much faster and better. Now we have this one stitch here. We move stitch from the needle onto my DPN and finish knitting that fourth stitch. okay, and it's not as clumsy in my opinion. Okay, and let me go and show you how it looks. You can see how it's attached to the skirt. All right, so I will continue working all the way to the end over here, all the way to the end. And then when I'm finished with my last, attaching my last stitch, then I will continue with my 4 stitches, another tube or iCord just like this, okay? As long as this one, because this one needs to go around my waist and this side has to go around my waist, so they can go and tie together. All right, so I'm gonna be working on it tonight, and I will probably finish videotaping this tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Look how much I did last night. I finished all this, okay, and I still have 2 more stitches over here, and I will show you how I will continue. All right, so but let me tell you something. It was so much easier to work with this having it on my lap. So these 2 last stitches are going to be a breeze working here on the table. All right, so we are going to again knit our 3 stitches and tighten this up and pull on the next stitch, stretch it, and now, oops, I lost that stitch. You know what, actually let me go and put it on right now. Okay, and let's go and knit these 2 stitches together. Okay, very good. Let's go and move this one in here, and we will add it to the 4th later on. Okay, so we don't need this anymore, and this is our last row working on my waist or hip area. Okay, so again I'm stretching these so they are nice, and these are 2 together. Okay, so these are nice, nicely like in a circle, and as you see it curls, but I will later on block it. All right, we'll block it and we won't have any problem. But let me see how it looks and show you how it looks. You see, this is our right here. You can hardly see it, right? All right, so now I will continue with this tube, or basically iCord, and I will make it just as long as this one. All right, and I just will continue like I did when I started here until my desired length. Ladies and gentlemen, here is my finished project. I washed it last night. It's still drying, still slightly damp. And so this is how it looks. This is my wraparound skirt that is thinner on this end and wider over here. So it's slanted, all right. Over here I have my little heart that I have designed not too long ago, and as it was drying, you see all the edges were kind of curling, but now they're like perfect. Let me show you. They're not curling anymore. I love that. But the only edge that is curling is this edge. So what I will do is I will go and take a iron, and I will just gently flatten this edge so it doesn't curl, because it is driving me crazy. And I wanted to also point a mistake in my skirt. As I was knitting, and you know, this is lots of stitches. So sometimes I go and watch meaningless movies, so I don't have to concentrate on a movie much. But look at that, I made a mistake. I didn't notice, and I did yarn over right there. So just when you're knitting, you know, don't do the same mistake like I do. All right. I don't think really it's noticeable, so I will keep it. I will not take it down. I also could go and close that little tiny hole somehow, but I probably will leave it as it is. And here are my strings that act as a belt. Okay, so they will also wrap around, and they will tie at the end over here. And I'm gonna go and have a nice slit over here. Okay, so that's my wraparound skirt. So what I did is I turned my knit so I can iron it on my wrong side, and the steam is helping me to make sure that that edge doesn't curl up as much. I don't want to flatten it too much, because then it doesn't look really nice. Let's go and turn off the steam, and just gently above the knit kind of dry it a little bit here. So here you can see how it looks, and it's not curling as much. And I also didn't really press much, so it should not be, you know, looking awful. We should not really iron knits. So, but if you do it extremely carefully, I don't think you're going to go and do any damage. All right, so with this, I will go and say goodbye to you for today, okay? And don't forget, the links for my blog and my playlists or other links are right below the video. Don't forget to like the video if you like this skirt. I invite you to comment, and if you have any ideas that some other people could go and learn from your ideas, please definitely write them below the video. Don't forget to share my videos with your family and friends. Probably more friends than family. You probably are the only one who knits or crochet in your family, right? Well, anyway, that's just saying for fun. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, all right? And don't forget to follow me on social media. And you will see me another day.